So the prince wasn't too disappointed?
She didn't express her gratitude, at any rate.
With you, she must not be used to failure. The others were pretty surprised, in fact.
Were they?
Some of them think you're not as motivated as you used to be. They think you're tired. They're wrong, aren't they?
Doubting me should not become a habit, Fang. I shouldn't have to reassure you.
Unfortunately, I'm not the one who needs to be reassured. You didn't tell me what was in those files you gave the prince.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
To make up your own mind about something, the best way is to go to the source. And apparently, Jason Moore is well informed.
I see. You'll have to be patient, Fang.
Do you think that this setback will be an issue for our plans to...
A favor from the prince wouldn't have hurt. But it's not the be-all, end-all in determining your fate. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I just want to get it over with. Like when you're going into finals.
Even if there's no going back?
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is.
Your child, Beryl Underwood, did he have any second thoughts?
I don't want to discuss it.
He's your only child, so I wondered how it went. Well, could you enlighten me?
Beryl is very different from you. He always has been. I was blind. It won't happen again. Beryl would have begged me to get what he wanted. Your patience reassures me. I'm making the right choice with you.
You seem to really have a problem with him.
Yes, and that's why you must stay away from him.
This separation between you, what caused it?
Don't dig too far into it. You know this is something I don't discuss.
That's too bad.
I'm not one to beat around the bush, especially on a matter like this. So either be frank with me, or be silent.
Then let's not talk about it.
Stay away from Beryl. Avoid him like the plague. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fang, I'm going to have a word with him.
Oh? To Beryl? Why?
I trust you, but I don't trust him.
I asked you not to go near him. Apparently, I didn't make myself clear enough.
I thought the prince was gonna call for you any minute now.
I'm sure I'll have enough time to clear the air with him first. Once and for all. While you're waiting, stay put.
As you wish.
Just one more, and then you can go rest.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Ortiz.
A message from Caius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Caius or speak with Beryl.
we're waiting for Mr. Leto's signal. Until then, if you have any questions...
I want a report on his activities pronto. I don't like the sound of that at all. Oh, there you are. Follow me, please. We'll speak in... private.
Dejan wanted to warn us about the Hartford champion's favorite rituals. He doesn't trust Deneb Osborne.
Looks like everything is in order. Now's not the time for mistakes. Looks like everything is in order.
This is the first time we work together. I'm big on discipline.
No problem.
Mr. Leto seems worried.
Can we get this over with quickly? 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 Can we get this over with quickly?
You wanted to see me?
Happy to see you, Galeb. We don't usually let anybody down here, but I can bend the rules for you.
To what do I owe this honor?
I need you. Something's come up. On the night of the attack, someone sent a message to an unauthorized recipient.
Do you know who it was?
Not now, but I will soon enough. Otherwise, the prince will have my head. Caleb, I need your help. I get the feeling that it's all connected. It's too huge to be a coincidence.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Jara Drory.
What you're telling me is extremely serious. I hope you have proof.
If I did, do you think I'd be asking for your help? But I wouldn't accuse her unless I had serious doubts. Think it through carefully. For starters, she's one of the few who knows how the system works.
She'd be able to cover her tracks, wouldn't she?
Maybe. But maybe she made a mistake.
According to our intel, Jara may have been captured.
She was caught in her own trap. Anyways, nothing concrete. Just a hunch, if you want to call it that. In my place, under the current circumstances, I can't really go poking my nose in her business.
And I can.
Nobody will bother you. I'm not asking for much. Just take a look in Jara's room to see if you can find anything that ties her to any of this. And if you could do it quickly.
Why?
Because I'm about to erase a ton of data. It's the Code Red protocol. And since Jara vanished, the prince wants her personal data to disappear along with her. That doesn't give us much time. You in?
I could maybe go and take a look around.
Great. I found a key to her room. Take it.
Thanks.
It's our last chance to recover the data from Jara Drory's computer before everything disappears for good. Just insert this thumb drive and it will download everything I need. If she betrayed us, I'll know.
Fine. I'll go see what I can find.
Thanks. One last thing.
Uh-huh.
If you could keep this just between you and me.
Fine.
And don't come back to see me here. It's supposed to be sealed. It'll look suspicious. I'll send in an engineer after you. Give him the drive when you're done, but don't tell him anything. We have to keep this between us.
As you wish.
I don't get the feeling our interrogations are getting anywhere. I think we should leave them a little before we question them. We're too easy on them.
There's no point in insisting.
The prince didn't ask you for your opinion.
Hazel can't just ignore me and then call me in like this. Now get out of here before I make your blood boil.
Mr. Siaka, you're taking a big risk.
Goodbye.
Asshole. Sorry, I don't really have time for this.
Let's see if Caius was right.
Jara always was old-fashioned. Whatever's in this box must be important.
Jara has always been wary of new technology. That should take less than a minute. Jara was conducting her own investigation. There is no way Caius would be expecting that. It appears Caius was wrong. He and Jara may have been looking for the same individual. I hope Caius will be able to use what's on this thumb drive. I think that's everything. Now it's Caius's turn.
Hello, Mr. Missouri. Mr. Leto asked me to wait until you were done. He also told me you'd have something for me.
Here it is. Give it to him, and him alone.
And don't ask any questions. I get it. Are you done here?
You may proceed.
Thanks.
I hope Caius knows what he's doing.
Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
Galeb, our secret agent is back already. The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him. I heard you were doing business with him.
It's something to do with the Rosemont Society, my foundation. Why?
I see.
All I can tell you is that Beryl's really the one who is in charge of it. Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I don't see why I would have any regrets.
That's no surprise. Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time. Otherwise, they end up making a mess of things.
You might be right. Beryl didn't wait long before revealing his true nature. There's no denying that I'm at least partly to blame for the situation.
Indeed. I would have done something about it, and he would have begged me for forgiveness. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
Locked? Beryl must be out. I'll have to talk to him another time.
Mr. Bazori, your child left a few minutes ago.
It's locked from the inside.
Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
You seem unusually tense. Are you sure she's the problem?
Obviously, the whole situation is a nightmare, but Hazel's not helping. She's obviously overwhelmed, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the Primogen to her.
What, you think I don't know that? I've always done my best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford...
Is there a problem with Hartford?
I told Hazel we can't trust them.
Do you have any evidence to support what you're suggesting?
She doesn't know Deneb the way I do. She wouldn't listen to my warnings.
Her plan was bold.
Risky is a better adjective. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the prince has kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Galeb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
If you leave now, you're no better than our enemies.
You're one to talk. You know what it's like to feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point. We thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been disloyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Galeb.
Meeting tarot. For those who are uncertain as to what the future holds for them.
That'll do.
I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer?
A peace agreement that put an end to a bloody revolt. Ancilla against neonates. Camarilla against anarchs.
There's no point in hanging around here bothering me. It's gonna take me a while.
Very well, Mr.
Things would
Sheridan.
go a lot
Please
faster if I
excuse
wasn't
me.
being... What a nightmare. It's chaos here. Sorry, I don't really have time for this.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Galeb,
My prince.
we were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him, and that's what concerns me the most. Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
Our enemies are everywhere. They're not just kindred.
No, the kind have no knowledge of our business. It's someone with diverging interests from our own. Someone on the inside.
If there's a traitor among us, I'll have their head.
One thing at a time. I'll take care of the traitor, personally. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
Did you read Jara Drory's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances.
But she's not here to shed any light on it.
I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
As I've said before, you can count on me.
Good. That's what I was hoping you'd say. When the time comes, I won't forget to reward those who've been loyal to me.
I won't let you down. What's the plan?
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him. And that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Galeb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince,